welcome back to another Pro Wrestling Breakdown video. And I wanted to do this video, first and foremost, because I recorded one on the camera for Windows 10, and evidently that thing is a piece of junk. That or it could just be my computer, who knows. Or it could be my camera that I got. Logitech cameras are weird anyway. That's the one I got, so I don't understand what's going on. If anybody has a Logitech camera and knows, leave it down below. Is it stopped working with your Windows 10, or what's going on with that? But the camera thing, I tried to shoot last week to talk about a bunch of different things. So today I'm kind of going to talk about those things a little bit more. So let's go into the video before my camera dies. Hopefully my camera will not die. So I read the results for Payback, and then I waited and to see what was going to happen on Raw, if anything big was going to happen. Nothing really happened big, so let's just break it down real quick. So I believe there was a rematch from WrestleMania. It was Kalisto and Ryback. Kalisto still got the win. He still holds the U.S. Championship. And then following on Raw, night after, they had a big battle royal. It was a pretty good battle royal. It came down to the League of Nations and Zack Ryder in the middle of the ring. Ending result looking like Rusev did win. Eliminating Zack Ryder. They kind of teased us with Zack Ryder possibly winning the U.S. #1 contender battle royal. But in the end, Rusev wins. Interesting seeing that John Cena is coming back soon, and that Rusev is now going to be getting a shot at Kalisto. But I think we know that John Cena is going to be back before then. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Maybe a triple threat match. Extreme Rules with John Cena in it. Who knows? Or maybe John Cena's going to come back and somebody else is going to face him. So it's interesting to see what happens there. And then we were talking about the Tag Team Championship. So at Payback, let's go in order. So I guess on the pre-show there was Baron Corbin got attacked by Baron Corbin fought Dolph Ziggler. This feud does seem pretty good. I was kind of like, oh god, they're going to put him in a feud with Dolph Ziggler. It seems like it's building pretty well. They're starting a very good feud, and it seems to be going pretty good. So I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. And then the Battle Royal, Corbin and Ziggler had an altercation in which Corbin was eliminated by Ziggler, and then Corbin got mad and then yanked Ziggler out and beat the crap out of him and threw him back in, and then Rusev threw him back out to cause the elimination. And I think it was a good feud going forward. So hopefully these guys can really do something. I mean, I think Corbin's surprising people on the main roster because this guy is built for the main roster. Some of these other smaller guys and stuff in NXT, it's going to be hard to translate into the WWE main roster, but Corbin is built for the main roster. This guy's got all the look. He's got the look. He's got the it factor. He's got everything. So I think he's going to surprise a lot of people what he's going to be able to do on the main roster, WWE style, because all these other guys are kind of like the indie style. Corbin's coming in, and he is the WWE style already. It was just trying to get him that charisma before he could come up to the main roster, and I think they did a pretty good job at doing that. So kudos to the guys in NXT on working on Corbin and getting up to his very best before they brought him up. And I knew he was getting frustrated because I think when they had Breaking Ground, that show, which I'd never seen before, and I had the network for a month for WrestleMania, and I didn't even watch it, whatever. So, whatever. And I haven't watched NXT in the past few weeks because, like I said, I don't have the network anymore. And when I did, I just didn't feel like watching it. I had other things I wanted to watch, including ROH that I'll talk about later. So let's get on to the other matches. So we had Tag Team Championships, I believe, kicked off Payback, and we'll talk about what happened on Raw, like I've been doing so far. Enzo was injured during the match, I guess a few minutes into the match. I don't think it went long the way they're talking. And Enzo was hurt. And what happened, he hit his head on the bottom rope and bumped the mat. And he, I guess, during the pay-per-view, they had no idea what happened. They thought it was more, serious than what. They thought it was more serious, but it was just a concussion. But it was just a concussion, and it wasn't as bad as what they thought. But it being a concussion, we don't know how long Enzo's going to be off TV. They're probably going to keep him off TV for, I can't remember what they said, because I remember Ziggler was off TV for a while when I believe Swagger or somebody like that like messed up, did a move, and knocked him out for a brief time. I believe that's why he had to lose the belt and everything at one point. So he may be off TV for a while. So and Vaudevillains just won it by default. So we're looking right now, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to put a triple threat in and have Vaudevillains and New Day and or Enzo Cass somehow, or Cass being somewhat involved. Because I know Enzo's not going to be back. I mean, if it's like the other times that people have had bad concussions like that, he'll be gone for like 3 months. Because I think that's what happened last time. If it was 90 days, it's like a default. You have to be off TV for 90 days. It's a new policy by the WWE. So we're probably looking at that. So I don't know if Big Cass will get a partner. Maybe possibly in the meantime, maybe call Mojo Rawley up from NXT. I think that would be a good thing. And then after Enzo comes back, then you can have the Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley team kind of enter the tag team division and kind of move them up. I think that would be a good idea. I think Mojo and him would kind of be a good tag team in the meantime. And who knows? He may be a good partner for Cass for a while. And Enzo kind of just give him time to recover and come back and be either a manager for the meantime and then wrestle after, if they were to get the straps. But I think Mojo Rawley would be a good kind of team or guy to bring up and have him be with him, or have somebody else come up that we don't even know right now, or somebody on the roster currently to be his partner. But don't mess up his character, WWE. Come on. The Vaudevillains and Dudley Boys are involved in an 8-man tag with Big Cass and New Day on Raw. 8-man tags get so cluttered to me. I don't really like them. And they seem to be doing it a lot because sometimes they'll pick somebody and throw them with New Day, and then they'll have two tag teams, or a tag team and 2 wrestlers like intermingled to kind of do the tag team and intercontinental at the same time. That's what they've been doing lately. And last night it was all about the tag team division, so it was kind of interesting to see Dudley Boys kind of going at Vaudevillains, and as they're wrestling together, kind of like dissing them in the meantime while they're facing New Day and Big Cass. So it was cool. I like the way it ended. Big Cass and New Day get to win. Not sure where they're going to go with this. I really have no idea. I think it will be good to get the belts on them, because who knows, they may break them up, but they're still pretty hot as a team, the New Day. So who knows, they may push through and keep the belts on the New Day. I think one thing that I haven't seen them do is really develop like a couple feuds that are in the tag team division besides the New Day, because the New Day can come out and do this every single week. They can do something to the effect like a singles match against like one heel and kind of rotate for a month, and then like at the pay-per-view have like, maybe Big E be the centerpiece for the feud and kind of go in there like that. So they could go into a kind of like a singles thing and drop the belts at Extreme Rules, or they can continue to be tag team champions and build like a couple tag team feuds down below. We kind of already see the Gallows and Anderson and Usos thing starting, and I assume that match will probably be on this coming pay-per-view. They'll probably book that tag match at Extreme Rules to have that feud start. And then you have the Dudleys, who could also feud with somebody else as well. So you have people that are able to feud besides the tag team championship feud. So they might do that just to keep the New Day being able to hold the tag team championships. And I think it's a smart thing that that kind of builds up the tag team title to where it means something. And I think they've built that up like throughout the past couple years, like the New Day has, and swapping belts for a couple times with people when they were heel. Because they gave the belts, I believe, they dropped the new belts to the belts of the primetime players at one time. I thought last year, I'm thinking they dropped the belts to them for a brief time. And I thought that was really good. So tag team scene looking pretty good. Intercontinental. I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens happened at Payback. I have no doubt it was a great match. I would love to see the match. I probably will watch the match at some point. They have good chemistry, and I'm sure they can go. So I'm sure it's a great match. I like this, that they're putting these two guys together. It's the smartest thing ever, because they've been all over the indies wrestling each other. Why not have them in the main roster of WWE, going at it, showing the national audience what they can do. and proving that they are like major stars, and they will be in a couple years. They will be the top guys in the WWE. The thing is, all these other guys are going to be coming back soon, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens and what happens when this feud ends, and seeing where these guys can go from there. With Seth Rollins feud with one of these guys, will Cena feud with one of these guys, will Reigns end up feuding with one of these guys. I think that down the road, I could see a heel Reigns battling a Sami Zayn, or a babyface Reigns battling a Kevin Owens. I think it'll happen sooner than we think, because I think they're too good. They're too good to pass up. But I think right now, putting these people in the Intercontinental Division is really, really great. Miz and Cesaro, surprised that Miz retained here. I thought they were going to do a transitional thing and give Cesaro the belt. It seems like they're actually building a big, big storyline with the 4 characters of Owens, Zayn, Sami Zayn, and Miz and Cesaro. So they're building a character kind of driven feud with all 4 of these around the Intercontinental Championship, and kind of probably going to be swapping them out. I think I would love to see Cesaro work with Owens more. And I would love to see the Miz and Sami Zayn work with each other as well. So might possibly well, I don't know. If they're going to do that, they're going to have probably Cesaro switch off, have a feud with Owens. Zayn get a shot at Miz next after the feud stops for Owens and Steen, or Owens and Zayn. Maybe Cesaro will go after that. Zayn will go after Miz. Somehow Miz will sneak away with the championship after that feud. And then we'll see Cesaro come back to win the IC Championship. I could see that maybe happening. Cesaro's been there more. He's proven himself more. They know the fans like Cesaro, and the machine seems to be getting behind Cesaro. So something's going to happen for Cesaro probably sooner than it's going to happen for Zayn, because the WWE has to, I think, believe in the person and see that they're getting over, like, really, really, really. So I just see Cesaro and the machine getting behind him faster than Zayn, because Sami Zayn right now probably is going to go through what Cesaro went through like a year or 2 ago, because they got to see that the fans are really, really wanting Zayn, and sometimes the reaction for Zayn is sometimes like pitter patter, and then like it's all over the place, and they got to know that people really like Zayn, and sometimes it is a flat reaction. Sometimes, to me, I noticed that. So we got, if you like somebody, you got to cheer for them. You got to cheer for them fast. You got to make a big ovation when they come out. Or if it seems flat, they may not go with them. And sometimes even when you do cheer really loud, they're just going to keep them there, because there's no need to move them up if you're going to continue to cheer for them. But when something big happens like that, you want to pop. It's a really different, weird thing in the WWE, What other matches happened? I'm trying to think what else. We'll go to the World Heavyweight, because I can't think of any. Oh, the women's match. Let's go with the women's match. I forgot about that. Natalya and Charlotte seem to be like a big cluster, of action. I don't know what they were trying to do here. It's stupid. Like, first of all, you got a woman who people really just aren't interested in. You can tell that. And Hey, so this video is going to be cut a little bit, because my wife came back and interrupted and had to come back and get something, so I kind of got interrupted with video. But I was talking about Natalya, so let's go back to Natalya and Charlotte match. So Natalya, nobody really wants Natalya. You can tell, because she doesn't get much of a reaction, and I understand that. You have to kind of build her up, because probably people don't remember what the heck she's done, whatever, in the past few years, because she hasn't done anything. Like, I think she was injured for a brief time, and she was with the Great Khali, for God's sakes, like the last time she was in a major, on TV, kind of thing, and everything else is like here and there and here and there, and gone. So you have her come back, and you have her immediately get a shot to Women's Championship at the WrestleMania, and I'm like, what? Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. So people are not buying into it. Now they're going to have 2 pay-per-views in a row, where they're going to have Natalya versus Charlotte. And I don't think she's going to win the championship, but it's really dumb. Like, what they did, it was an interesting storyline that they're doing. And I guess it's something that they did on, it's something they did on NXT that they're kind of transferring up here because it did so good down there. So I don't know. I don't like it. Charlotte, I think, will retain at the next Extreme Rules. Um, and it did a stupid thing where she put the sharpshooter, the most uncomfortable sharpshooter I've ever seen. And I've seen some other people be put in the sharpshooter, and I'm like, why are they in the sharpshooter? And because I thought like Vince McMahon got put in that sharpshooter, I thought one time, and it didn't look uncomfortable as that. The last night it looked pretty uncomfortable when Ric Flair put the sharpshooter, got put in the sharpshooter by Natalya, and I think that might have been part of Natalia's part because Ric Flair probably didn't care. He probably was like, screw it, put me in it. I'll work with you. Because Flair seems like he'll do anything for anybody. He's a good worker. He's a good um, legend. He'll do a lot of things for people. He'll put people over. He has no problem doing that. But I don't know. Seems like it was very uncomfortable in that feud. Charlotte is really good. She's just as good as her father. That's the thing. Natalya is good, but she comes across as corny sometimes. So I think that may be why sometimes she's not hitting that with people, and people may not like her as much. But also, let's move on because that's really whatever. On Raw, we saw Emma defeat Becky Lynch. Interesting enough, I would like to see the Emma match versus Charlotte, but that'd be kind of weird right now. So maybe kind of building Emma up, so when somebody does beat Charlotte for the championship, it's going to mean more. And my whole thought process is maybe they would have Emma take on Charlotte, but they're probably just going to build a match between Becky and Emma to happen at Extreme Rules, or they may have something else happen with them just as a feud on Raw and SmackDown to continue going. And they need more of those feuds too, the ones that aren't really major, but just to happen for TV's sake. They need more of those too. Because I remember like back in the Attitude Era, they had quite a bit of those feuds that like, it was only for Raw. Like they really didn't progress them at the pay-per-views, it was only for television. And they need to have more of those kind of feuds that are just for the TV, Then on Raw, we also had Goldust having Fandango as a partner, which they've been tag teaming, I guess, on SmackDown for a while, and I haven't seen that because I don't really watch SmackDown. Every time I kind of watch their YouTube and watch some matches, or the end of matches on that. But Tyler Breeze and R-Truth, which I don't know who R-Truth was teaming before that, because I don't know who was teaming. I don't think it was Tyler Breeze. It was somebody else. I can't remember who it was. No, I can't remember. Maybe it was Ziggler, possibly. No, it wasn't Ziggler. I don't know who he was teaming with, but it may have been Zack Ryder too. I don't think so. But anyway, kind of a weird match. It was funny. It was funny as hell. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was kind of gimmicky, kind of weird, weird story. I guess not gimmicky would be the word, but I don't know how what the word would be for it. But it's kind of just like a throwaway match. But it was funny. Had some funny segments, and you don't get much comedy lately in the WWE. That's what they need to do. That kind of, and that's what the problem was with this week's Raw. Is a lot of people complained that it just wasn't good. Something was missing. It had good matches all the way through for the most part. Good matches. It was great matches. The storyline just was horrible. It was boring. But I think what happened was they had good, like at the beginning of Raw, it was really, really good. Like an hour and a half into the show, it was really, really good. And then it kind of just started dragging. And then I think what a lot of people were excited for, and kind of like me, I forgot that the main event was still to come. And they did the whole backstage scene too early. They should have did it like halfway through. They should have did that. But they did it way too early to set that up for later on in the night. They shouldn't have done that. They should have had something happen in the back before that happened to kind of instigate that. Maybe Luke Gallows and AJ that walk past like the Usos and say something, or they attack the Usos and backstage, and that's what sets it up. Or they're telling AJ, these people, they have no respect for us. They're saying different things about us New Japan guys and stuff like that. They could say something like that, but they didn't do it. They didn't do that. They just went right to the 6-man tag thing, and then you almost forgot about that match by the end of the night. And you're like, and then at the end of the night, it's like, oh yeah, this match is here, but now are we excited? And they did a great job. That match was awesome, and I think, but the placement of that, like I said, they put it at the end of the night, and the way it was just very, very hard to accept that that match was last after you had kind of this boring segments at the end. And I think the thing before that was the Natalia thing, so it kind of was like, meh, deflated all the air out of the freaking arena because everybody was like, what did we just watch with the women's stuff? Everything that they did with Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte kind of has been blown out now, putting Natalia in this spot, which she's a great wrestler, I understand, but she's more of a traditional wrestler, and then you put her in the ring with somebody like Charlotte, um, it's kind of a different element, and it's kind of, I'm not sure if I like it. I think if it was a younger person going in the ring with Charlotte, it would have been a lot better. Like Emma, like Becky, like even Paige, like some other person, anybody else. Natalia, I don't think she had her time, and they didn't run with her, so they ruined the timing on that. I don't think she should ever be in the women's title picture, really. Every once in a while, but it should be like a TV kind of thing, and not like a feud kind of thing. You know, she should be the kind of feud where she's like, hey, I've been here all this time, I deserve a title shot. You know, hey, give me a chance. You know, I can beat you, blah blah blah. Not like, hey, this woman has, you know, she's gone with the time. She should have got the title shot a long time ago, you know, which I believe she already had the championship a long time ago anyway. So she had her chance in the sun. Her time has passed. She needs to be a manager or something. You know, I know her hubby is who she was managing before, but he's out right now. Have her freaking manage Cesaro or something right now, you know. It makes sense. It would make sense, actually, since they were tag partners and stuff like that. So, with that, and then if they did bring him back, they could do kind of like a love triangle kind of feud when he does come back, or if he comes back, from what I hear, about his health. But you know, all's well. Um, that match with R-Truth and everything was real funny. But moving on, AJ Roman happens at the end of the night at WrestleMania. What? And I think at Payback they also had League of Nations versus New Day. League of Nations are no more, and I think the New Day had to have won. Yeah, because it was for the tag belts. They won somehow. And then League of Nations disbanded on, I guess, SmackDown. Who cares? So, but they're all still heels, so I don't understand what's going on with that. Sheamus looks like he may turn back to babyface. I don't really know. Um, to me, it looks like they're all going to stay heel, though, for the most part. I'd like to see Sheamus turn back to babyface, honestly, because I think we need more babyfaces right now. But I don't think they're going to turn Sheamus babyface. I still like what they're doing with Sheamus. They need to do something better with him. Because he had good heel heat when he came in to WWE, and he had a good run when he was a champion. Originally, when he was a champion when he first came in, his run was really good, is what I hear. And now it seems like he's just garbage from what I see then and now. You know, AJ Roman, the chemistry is definitely there. I think the problem is that people just do not want to accept Roman. Here is my problem with Roman. He doesn't work as a babyface. People don't want to see Roman Reigns in a prominent storyline. I personally think that he wasn't ready for it. That's just my opinion. They pushed him way too soon, and I just don't. You know, it just goes back to the same thing with Batista. You want this thing to happen, and the fans don't want to see it, so they're rebelling against it. And you continue to push Roman Reigns in this direction, and eventually it's just going to turn off the crowd. It's just going to turn off the crowd, and the crowd is going to tune in elsewhere. The thing is right now is, though, we have nowhere to turn. We cannot turn to anything else. ROH is now on Comet TV, so that is the only thing that you can go watch. You can watch Lucha Underground, but it's going to end eventually, and then there's going to be nothing to watch. But honestly, if you wanted to boycott the WWE, you would just not tune into Raw and just order the network and go watch all the Monday Night Raws from the past and just not watch WWE. I don't know how that would hurt you because the Nielsen family or Nielsen ratings, whatever, I don't know what that's based on because I don't think us watching has any effect on that, which is bullshit. It should matter who tunes into what, but I don't think that even matters on the rating scale. And this video is going to go on way, way too long. I'm sorry if it goes on long for you, but you know, this is the pro wrestling breakdown that's going to happen probably every week about wrestling. I'm going to go on here and talk about it, or it's going to be a certain topic. So there you go. So I like the AJ Roman feud, but I think that's what's going to take away from it is people just don't care about Roman. And either way, if AJ continues to lose, nobody's going to like the match. I would love to see Roman lose. But then AJ chasing the title is the same as Roman chasing the title. People want to see it though. That's the thing. People want to see AJ chase the belt, but they're going to get frustrated every single time that AJ loses the opportunity. So I think that if you continue to have AJ come oh so close, and you're going to build this feud up, then it's great. I see what they're doing with it though. That's one of my case on this is that I see what they're doing, and if you could see past Roman Reigns, you can understand what they're building, and it's really interesting because they keep putting the doubt in people's minds, like, is AJ going to turn heel? Is AJ going to turn heel? And they keep putting that chair. But what they need to do here is they need to have Reigns turn heel instead of AJ, and then this feud would become so much better if Reigns just decided to go all out and just beat the crap out of AJ and turn heel right on Raw. And I think it's going to happen before we know it, because WWE cannot continue to go down this path. They've got to turn Reigns heel. They've got to. They just can't keep pushing him down our throats. It's not going to work. People keep saying John Cena 2.0 for Roman Reigns. He's not John Cena 2.0 because people actually don't mind John Cena anymore. He's like John Cena 0.5, probably 0.2. He's not even the 0.5. He's John Cena 0.2. He's not 2.0. He's 0.2. So he's not even a 2.0, because 2.0 means they've improved. They haven't improved, so John Cena 1.0 is definitely better than freaking Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns has to be John Cena 0.2. So it doesn't make no sense why they call him John Cena 2.0, because like I said, there's no improvement upon John Cena. To put this guy out, that'd be an unimprovement. So it doesn't make no sense when they say that. But yeah, I said what I say. I would like AJ Styles to win. Balor, or everything that's going on, Balor losing the title. You know he's coming up soon. Well, when's he going to show up? And that's the anticipation. He's going to probably face Joe one more time, but that doesn't mean anything. So that means that any time he could come back up. Because almost every single time, and you can go back and figure out when everybody debuted and all that stuff, almost every single time they have shown up on WWE and gone back to face if they were champion, they went back to wrestle at least like 1 or 2 times on NXT before officially being on the roster. It's just kind of like probably to close up any loose storylines that they've had. You can guess probably Corbin is going to go back and face Aries at TakeOver and get his win back, or something like that to, you know, close the ties with that pay-per-view. So interesting to see what happens in the future for Balor. I think he'll show up at Extreme Rules. I don't know. It seems like a weird thing. I think he'll probably debut on the night after Extreme Rules, to be honest, because I think that would be the perfect time. You have him debut, you set up a new storyline. If you have him debut at Extreme Rules, you're going to have him screw over AJ, or help AJ if Roman turns heel, something like that. I think Finn, they want him to debut as a babyface right now, but if they don't, it's going to be interesting when the Demon comes back. But then if you don't know about the Demon on the main roster, you're not going to understand what's going on. So I think they have to debut him as a babyface to let people know how this Demon thing kind of works. And I think he may debut as a Demon on Raw just to get that intensity and the fire. And who knows, WWE may say, we want you to do Demon every single time you come to the ring, because that's what we want, because that's what the fans want, you know, and Balor may just do it. I think it would be interesting. I think it would be a cool concept, and, you know, I know what the concept for him is that he does it at every pay-per-view. He'll come with his Demon, but the flash and the flair of it has kind of went away, you know, so, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know any other people are coming up. I know they pulled up like a bunch of people after Mania. You know, Cruz, you know, Zayn officially was up there at the Rumble. Corbin came up, and Enzo and Cass. So they pulled up a lot of people. So NXT Cast really wasn't on the NXT tapings much. That's why, like, every time I got to see the NXT tapings, I never seen End Zone Cast. That's why I was like, I wasn't really thrilled and really wasn't super into them like everybody else was because I'd never seen them when I watched NXT. So that being said, I want to talk a little bit about ROH at the end. I may start doing a dedicated ROH taping video. That may come. It would have to be like later on in the week, but you might see that pop up at some point when I do that, or it may start happening after Raw. I'll talk about last week's ROH. But I may do a separate taping for that. It would have to happen like on Thursday or Friday morning and then go up later in the night. But I want to talk a little bit about that because I have watched some. I've seen, and I recorded this, like I said, I recorded this and at the end of that other video, I talked about this and I had the names fresh in my mind. But I've seen Okada, the IWGP Championship, on one of the recent Ring of Honor episodes. I've watched the last 5 or 6 episodes, so it's really, really good. I'm getting into ROH. I like their television style now. They used to have 1 or 2 matches, and it spanned the entire hour. It was horrible. I'm glad they got away from that kind of TV show, and now they book it and they tape it ahead of time, and they do all this stuff. It's cool. I don't know how. I don't know if they tape it ahead of time, but it's taped. I know that. But I've seen a lot of different things happen. I've seen the Truth Martini attack from that big goofy guy that probably be perfect for the WWE. But I don't even know if he'd be good for the WWE because he seems like he's not even like that built. He's just skinny as hell. Kind of like, not like Big Cass. He's tall as Big Cass, but he's skinnier than Big Cass. So, don't know. I'm not really interested in that view. But Jay Lethal, I like Jay Lethal. I like Okada and Ghetto taking on, I think it was, I'm blanking. Was it Matt Sydal? No, that's somebody else. I can't remember who they faced. They faced the Japanese. No, I don't know who they faced. I have no idea. Oh, they faced Red Dragon. That's who they faced. I thought. Great tag team. Red Dragon's awesome. They're really good. Okada is great. I'm awesome. It's awesome that New Japan's working with ROH, which I was not aware. And one of my coworkers told me about that I talked to. Ghetto, Ghetto, he's really good. Then I've seen the junior heavyweight champion, I'm blanking on his name right now, Kushida, I think is what his name is. He's really awesome. He's really cool. I really liked him. I liked him better than Okada. But Okada has his own thing as well. But great wrestling all around. I mean, ROH is amazing. And, this last episode was kind of like the worst episode I've seen, but there were some interesting things on there. The Addiction was Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, them from TNA, took on Motor City Machine Guns, who were also in TNA. So it's kind of like TNA feud kind of brought to ROH, kind of weird. But I'm sure it's not the first time that's happened, because they used to work closely with ROH back in the day, and now I don't think they're working closely with ROH anymore, but they definitely have, people on the roster. There are now a lot of people from TNA flooding into NXT and flooding into ROH, getting away and abandoning the sinking ship that is TNA. I will not talk about it because I have no idea what the hell is going on over there. The roster is completely jacked up. They have people who are in NXT right now that are on the TNA roster, and I'm pretty sure they're not under that weird contract that they have. I'm sure that's not happening. Because why would NXT let people from TNA come into NXT? That makes no sense whatsoever. Except for if you're James Storm, which I may talk about here in a second. But ROH has some great wrestlers. Definitely, if you haven't checked out ROH, check your local areas for the ROH. It comes on Wednesday at midnight in my area. So check out in your area to see if you got Ring of Honor on Wednesday night, late night. It'll be probably around 11, midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in your area if you got it. Check your local, I don't even know how to tell you. It's like a local channel, but kind of not. But James Storm, let's talk about this for a little second here, because I don't think I've been able to make a video, but if you made it to the end of the video, thank you. You're awesome. I'm going to weave this together with the other video, hopefully. If not, this will be like a part 2 video to the review. But James Storm was in NXT. He even had, I think, a televised match on NXT tapings. One or two, I thought. I didn't get to see it, but here was the thing. He decided he didn't want to be with the WWE because of the traveling. So, you were with TNA for the longest time, and you traveled all over the world. And the reason that people like TNA sometimes is because they take breaks. Now they do a lot of tapings and stuff like that. Here's the thing, James Storm, and this is what really, really irritates me, is the fact that TNA is sinking. So what are you going to do when TNA goes under? You had the opportunity to be there when Rude shows up, to be there when EY, Eric Young, shows up, which they already have. Thank God they got off of that sinking ship. But James Storm is just continuing to stay there. What's going to add to your resume that you stay in TNA? Because one, you're getting older. You're getting older. James Storm and Chris, I don't remember his name. America's Most Wanted. We're one of the best tag teams TNA ever had. They were there when they first started, around the time they first originally started. He's one of the originals. You didn't jump ship to WWE. What is wrong with you? You don't have much time left in your career. You have a decent amount of time left in your career, but you want to choose to stay. I don't know. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me why you would go to the thing at NXT, see what they had to offer, and then go back to TNA. That's almost like Hulk Hogan leaving the WWE in the mid-'80s, or when he hit Hulkamania. Like, they said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give you Hulkamania. You're going to have a match against Andre the Giant. You're going to make good money. You're going to be the top babyface in the company, and you're going to have a good place on the roster. And then he turned around and says, no, I'm going to go work for WCW because they look like they have a better product than me. When they didn't have a better product. And what will be the reason of that? It doesn't make any sense. It's very annoying. I don't know. I don't understand James Storm. I think it's stupid. I think it was a bad mistake. And I think this may lead to James Storm never performing in the WWE. That's what I think. Honestly. He has his opportunity, and it's going to be one of those wrestlers that probably wishes he would have been in WWE. And hopefully it's not kind of like a Sting thing, which he's not even as big as Sting because nobody will know who the hell he is by the time he shows up in WWE. That's the problem. Is that now he's somewhat relevant. When he shows up there again, people probably aren't going to know who he is. And he'll have to go through NXT once he goes back again. So it doesn't make any sense why he went to TNA and then said, oh, well, I'd stay with TNA right now. Are you that loyal to Dixie Carter? Really, what is she doing? Is she doing things personally for you? That's all I'm saying. I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, this video went way too long. It's probably going to be like almost 40, 50 minutes. But hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll continue to give you content. If you want me to talk about different things. I can't watch Lucha Underground either. LRA Network. I don't know. These people need to figure out where to put their products because it's hard. I can't watch TNA if I wanted to. And plus, every bad thing I've heard about TNA, I don't want to watch them. I don't want to support them because Dixie Carter is a complete idiot and a dumb biatch. Anyway, so there you go. Hope you subscribe, comment down below. Anything, leave comments, whatever you want to talk about, rage against me, say I'm wrong about whatever I said, and if I forgot something, let me know, I'll talk about it. If I missed a match on Raw, then what we do? It probably wasn't worth anything to me that I talked about it. If not, I'll touch on it next week if I forgot something this week. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll continue to make it. Remember, every week the Pro Wrestling Breakdown may be a little bit late because I'll have to personally upload it and make it a point to upload it sooner than most of the other videos, since I know that it's kind of time sensitive because it just happened on Monday. I want to get that up as soon as possible. So I hope you guys like the video and hope you guys continue to watch. Keep rocking.